Hello everybody, and welcome to a Live Pixel Presents a look at Loadout. This is a new closed beta that came out just a couple hours ago, I think, is total. It's only a couple hours old, and we decided that we were going to take a look at it. So we're going to look at some of the stuff that Loadout has to offer. It's a free-to-play game that is available and being developed by Edge of Reality here in Austin, and it's actually a local-based company, so we are obviously going to be showing our support behind this game and want to at least stream some of it. I got a chance to look at it first at the Rooster Teeth convention in 2012. Earlier, you might have heard me talk a little bit about it, I think, in the podcast or This Week in Stuff. Well, now the closed beta is out, so now we can actually start at least playing a little bit of it, and then we're going to take a little look at it, at what it has to offer. So first off, we're going to look at some of the weapon crafting, we're going to take a look at some of that stuff, and then go into the multiplayer and jump in and play a little bit for now. However, this game does have different times of the day where they have certain testing periods, so you may not see a lot of people that I'm going to be playing against. So just keep that in mind as you're watching it. Also, keep in mind that this is a closed beta. It has bugs, it's a beta, just keep that in mind. It's not, obviously representative of the final product. So just make sure that you understand that when you're watching me play it, and there might be some things that happen that make it seem like it's a beta. So there you go. So first off, we're going to take a look at the weapon crafting. We're going to load into the level here. For this segment, I'm actually going to turn off my camera, so we're gonna be able to show the entire screen, so you guys can get a real sense of this entire thing that's going on here. Because it's really complicated. It's pretty neat. And I want you guys to actually be able to see what you're able to do in this game. So with that, we're looking at the different assault rifles and different things that you have here. So first off, I'm going to build an assault rifle. I'm going to change some of that stuff, see how that end of it goes. That's the first gun that I'm going to, play around with for a bit. So we're going to do that, and we're going to, first off, I'm going to make a new weapon altogether. Actually, wait, go back. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to go to the assault rifle first, customize that real quick. So first off, you have a bunch of stocks, similar to what you might see in, let's say, Call of Duty or other games where you're able to modify your weapons. So now you first off have your standard one, starting reliable, dampening, compact, shock absorbing, aluminum, or aluminium, as the UK and British dudes that may watch us may say. So first off, I'm gonna choose the shock absorbing one. Okay, so obviously these would have values that you'd have to be able to buy in order to get some of this stuff originally. So once the game comes out, it won't just be 0. You won't be able to just have these willy-nilly like this, but it gives a good chance to take a look at it, especially in the beta before the game is out, to actually be able to see what you may actually like and test out in the test mode. So then chassis, I'm going to say, okay, so you have options between rifle, pulse, beam, launcher. I'm going to go with the pulse, at least just to try this part out. There's iron sights, obviously, for the scope, but then you also have laser guidance systems, and recon scope, optical zoom, long range scope, and UV laser guidance. I'm going to say UV laser guidance because that just seems kind of crazy. So we also have full auto for the trigger, spooling, which means it holds down and spools at a higher rate. I'm gonna go spooling. Then you also have 2-round burst, 3-round burst, charge that you can also do. Magazine size, just pretty straightforward here. I'm gonna go with the high capacity one because we're doing the spooling, it'd be really nice to have that. You also have shell loading, bolt action as well, which is great. I don't know if bolt action and pulse rifle would be all that great, but we might try it out. Might as well. Yes, this is as you mentioned, this is an awesome indie dev game studio that we're highlighting here. Edge of Reality is making Loadout, so we're taking a look at it. With this, we're just going to put on Galleon. Assault, scatter, sniper, light assault, silencer, wide scatter, headhunter, scatter, and narrow edition. Again, a lot of this stuff is still being balanced, tweaked. Some of this stuff may disappear, may come back, what have you. They're still sort of developing this game, so it's important to realize that some of these options may not be there when the game comes out. but at the other hand, really interesting customization. So we got my basic, assault rifle that I've built. We want to test that obviously before we actually, get around to saving it, because we don't want to just save a weapon that's terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the test facility and test it out a little bit. So we got my little laser rifle, as you can see here. The laser, guidance system. And spooling. There we go. So as you can see, it actually guides and moves as the projectiles are in transit. So because of the laser moving, you can actually end up having them like move around. See, as you can see, like right there, as the bullets trail leading to the laser, which makes it really good for tracking people who are running. Now, all these weapons you can also use in the multiplayer as well. So anything that you take and modify, you can move to the multiplayer version as well. So I really encourage modification of your gun and really finding out what actually works well with each weapon. However, I do really like this one. At least my first attempt seems pretty good, because you kind of have that like nice little lead that you're able to kind of pull away from, especially for targets that are moving. So it makes it really nice, actually, for that. So I really actually do like this weapon, so I might just save it. So I'm just going to save it. I'm going to call this the Pulse Cheese. Yep, there you go. Pulse Cheese. Yes. I'm going to take it to the loadout. So we also have the loadout, which you can see here. Shock and awe, and it has different loadout types. So you can build towards, let's say, like if you wanted a type of weapon, like for instance, this weapon is really good for assault and battery, like DM, or if you wanted something that was really good for capture the flag, which is their shock and awe type. You can kind of customize it towards that and make sure that each game type that you go to, you have a different weapon that you can use to specialize in each sort of area of combat. Makes it really, really interesting that way, so that you can kind of build it toward. But that's not really what we're here to sort of build at for. We're just going to go back to the weapon crafting and make another gun, so I can show you kind of all the different combinations that you can do, and show you how different the weapons can get, because this is something that I actually spent a lot of time with at RTX. So, the aluminum one, just see something that's different. We also have the beam here. I'm going to say optical scope. I'm going to be doing this a little bit quicker this time, just to give you guys a sense of all the options as quickly as possible. You also have charged. I'm going to take that charge because it's a laser. You might as well charge up a laser, right? Then on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and go to the let's make it a laser sniper rifle that has a charge. I think that will work well. We're going to go in the test range. So yeah, that works well. I think probably the closest to this would probably be the Tribe's rifle, actually, with like how you charge it up and then hold it down and let go. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for a sniper rifle, for sure. However, with all the beam weapons, since they have like an infinite ammo, they actually do have a total percentage, as you can see in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. You can actually see that it's all based on battery charge. So the more that you use it, the more it takes to actually charge down and discharge some of that heat that you have. So you kind of have to get rid of that as quickly as you can, so that you can then fire again with the beam weapons. You also have your grenades, obviously, your melee abilities with F. This is a game all about also dodging and jumping. So it's really important to have that extra mobility in this game as well. And then on top of that, I'm actually trying to figure out what there we go. The taunt ability. It also plays some nice music along with it. But there's also grenades, which you can press C for, and they're real nice for area effect damage, which are really good. They feel really satisfying. The grenades in this game don't feel like clunky things that you throw around and hope that they explode. Cough, cough, planetside. But anyways, so we're going to go back to the test arena and pull some more stocks. change around the stocks a little bit. Let's go for a launcher rifle. There you go. And then we're going to go ahead and say, well, remote control with the rocket launcher. Why not? We're going to go with the payload of and you can modify the payloads of each of these things too. So that's important to also realize as well. Let's say I'm going to do a shell impact. I like the shell impact ones. The straight up you have to hit their body, but it's really high damage sort of deal. Let's say... I'm gonna use the beard pan, why not? We'll do that. So each ammo type can be customized to different things. So like you can make this super slow. There's like Tesla, Pyro, Health, the Juice, etc. Like, support rolls as well for some of these items that you can do. Flak as well, which is also really good to use. I'm gonna want to have that as well. But we also have options to make this a little bit different as far as the trigger pull as well. So we're gonna go ahead and move to the spooling from originally the spooling to the fully auto. We'll do the full auto one. And let's say the barrel cage we're gonna make into hex barrel. Why not? That seems cool. And it's got a bunch of beer cans along with it too. It's great. Just great. We're gonna test this gun then. So you can home it, and then once it hits, it then launches out like a MIRV and has the little explosions on top of them. It's funny too because some of them don't really work out too well. This is probably one of those that don't work out too well. Like the combination that I just picked probably isn't all that great, to be honest. From what I'm feeling right now. I mean, you can kind of scope out a little bit, but it doesn't really seem all that great or productive of a weapon to use. No, this weapon's not satisfying. So you'll end up with combinations like that that are just not really all that great, and it's important to kind of still experiment as much as you can to get something out of it that is really good for you. So in this case, I'm gonna try something different this time. I'm also gonna get rid of the remote control because I don't think that one really works. Let's go with laser guidance instead. That seems like that's really kind of fits the rocket launcher mold. Okay, so we've changed around our options a little bit. So you can see the beer can. Okay, this one's already rocking a little bit more than the last one. So you can see the homing beer cans. I like this. I like this one. Okay, this rocket launcher is actually pretty good. I like it. I like it. It's good. It's a MIRV beer can. That is awesome. That's cool. Okay, this combination is pretty neat. I think I like this one. I'm gonna save it just for giggles. Let's call this the beer launcher. Go back. Oops. So yeah, that's a beer launcher. I saved it. Let's go ahead and try out some other weapons as well. So you got a sense of what you can kind of do with just the assault rifle version. That's not even the rocket launcher. That's just the assault rifle. So now you go into the grenade launcher. Let's go in the grenade launcher a little bit. Let's test out the default of how it plays on the grenade launcher. As you can see, pretty standard fare for a grenade launcher, but still good. Still works. Still good. I like the way this game looks. By the way, I actually really like how pretty it looks. But regardless of that, let's try some of the different changes that you can have for a grenade launcher. Now, the grenade launcher also has an exhaust port that will reduce the recoil of rocket launchers. It's for specifically the launchers and grenade launchers. So it has some different stocks. On top of that, you can also have the different modifications of it, let's say, and you can change that as well, which is good. Same, similar iron sights for the most part. However, you can also, change the trigger pull and all that stuff. Let's also say let's put this one on a on a tri-barrel instead. Let's do a tri-barrel. So this one, like if you played Unreal Tournament, can fire multiple projectiles if you hold it down. So, boom, there you go. It's like the old UT days. Now all I need are like jump dodging along with it, and then you're in UT. So there you go. So really good for the tri-barrel. You can also do it with the hex barrel, I think. So let's try the hexa-barrel real quick. So yeah, you can also do it with the hexa-barrel. So if you want to launch 6 rockets, you can totally do it. Or 6 grenades, I should say, because it's not a rocket launcher. So yeah, so there you go. You can also do that. Or you can just do a regular tube. You can do a tube. Which is just a straight single, but it reloads pretty quick. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Let's do a heavy. It's quite the ridiculous gun. Alright. It's pretty neat. I like it. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward. It is what it is. That's pretty standard fare. And then all these are pretty much, what they are. I mean, you can pretty much figure out what those are. So let's go back and let's also... I guess I don't want to say that. Let's try the shotgun, right? So you got your shotgun. This one happens to be a Tesla shotgun that they built as an example. Let's go ahead and test it out. So that has a pretty wide berth on the range and area that you can actually hit them at. So that's good. That's pretty good. I think I like it. I think I like this gun already, even though it's just like the standard pair. But yeah, good on it. It's good build. Like it. So with that, you can also do slugs, pyro, the juice, also and health. You can also heal people. So you can do your healing shots, just like if you wanted to play a medic in TFT, you can also do that here. Except that your bullets then become your healing abilities, which is pretty neat. I like it. It's kind of like Thor. But you also have, optical zooms that you can attach to them, like we said before. Let's go with full auto on this. Or let's do free round burst, actually. Let's do that. Let's... bolt action. I don't think a burst would work for the bolt action. Let's do high capacity, right? And then let's not do scatter. Instead, let's do a light assault. So like it's, mid-range, right? Alright. So the pyro is just about keeping people on fire instead of, straight up damage at the time. So yeah, it's just a dot that you can put on them. Pyro's alright. Don't really know if I necessarily like it per se, but, if you like fire, if that's what you really want, you can do that. In terms of audio here real quick, a little bit. It seems to be a little bit too low. But yeah. Yeah, there's the pyro, and it's almost like an assault rifle, except it's a shotgun, which is kind of neat. So yeah, there's the pyro. Let's try the slug. Oh, also, this game's pretty gory. I just thought I'd say that. Yep. Although it's still cartoony, so it's all cartoon, So yeah, so that's the shotgun. You can do things with it, right? The different things that you can do. So let's go back over to the, let's say, the sniper rifle set that they have. Let's try out the stock one. Pretty straightforward sniper, I have to say. Nothing really all that different on that, so you know, it's a sniper, right? So you can also change the, you know, like I said, the things that you have here. Say healing. You're shooting like health darts onto them, and then oozes on them, and then they get healed by it apparently. So there you go. That's the healing. You wanted to be a healing sniper and just heal your teammates, which is awesome. A sharp healer, yeah, yep. That's a great name for it. Actually, I should probably use that myself. And then you also have the juice, which you can then use as well, which basically just supercharges them, gives them more damage and adrenaline to make them, you know, harder to kill, basically. So you can also be a support buffer along with it for long range as well. So it's great, yeah, that's pretty neat. If you want to see, if you just don't have an idea about what you should be building toward, a good way to figure it out is also to randomize. As you can see, you can just randomize the guns and just come up with something different every single time. It'll just randomize every single option that you want. So really, really neat, you know, options that you might have. And oh, I might actually try that healing rocket launcher. With the Merv. The AoE. Oh, that's awesome. That is cool. That's cool. That's a cool way of healing. It's like the rocket launcher of healing. That's cool. That's neat. And let's go with the hexabarrel on that. So yeah, if you wanted this to be like this massive AoE heal in an area, you could totally do that. It's awesome. That's neat. Yeah, that's cool. Again, this is part of the reason why this game originally really interested me. So this quad cluster as well. That's cool. It's neat. So yeah, that, you know, these different options that you can put on the gun, definitely neat ways of actually customizing your weapon. Really, really cool. Definitely a different game than you probably have ever seen because of the way that you can customize your weapons. So again, join us here in a couple of seconds. We'll be right back with the you know, actual game and TVM. We'll go through some of the different matches and all that stuff so you guys can see the different options that you have available for actually playing the game. We're going to be playing some of that stuff here in just a couple seconds. We'll be right back, and we're just going to cut this video off, and then we'll begin part 2 here immediately.